you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program.
Because they do not have the same value system. And as soon as you break away and you now become existing with people with the same value system, the same family existing as a nation, they will prosper. There is nothing nothing can stop them from being prosperous. Nothing. They will definitely, even if there are still remaining issues that the enemy have planted in them, just with a very short time, they will manage it and they move on. As long as they have the same value system. This is why when we come out and we say that the zoological republic cannot work, it cannot stand, that we should stop deceiving ourselves about people who are talking about one Nigeria or all that, it cannot stand. It cannot stand. It's not helping anybody. It's not as if we are saying it out of hatred. We're not saying that out of hatred or maybe out of malice or we are saying it to favor every human being living in that very country called Nigeria. The person from the northern part of Nigeria, from Arewa, will do much better if he is in Arewa nation, whereby they choose the kind of system they want to run. If they want to run an Islamic system, have an Islamic nation, they will be doing it happily without anybody having grudges on them. They will be doing it boldly, openly, without any grudges from anybody. And they will flourish. I bet you, if Arewa be on their own, they will flourish. They will develop by force. The same way with the Oduduwa people. If Oduduwa people be on their own, with people of the same value system, thinking alike, doing things the same way, they know themselves very well, they are going to do exploit. They will be secure and very happy among themselves. The same thing will be applicable to Biafra people. If Biafrans are on their own, they will do exploit in a very short time. And these three nations you are seeing, if they happen to be on their own, they will be doing exploit because they will be having a healthy competition. The same kind of competition you have in Asia today, where you see Japan competing with where you see China competing with Japan, see Singapore exploring, Taiwan exploring, countries in Asia, South Korea exploring, including North Korea themselves. People begin to find an area which they are very good at, and they focus on that. A healthy competition. When you see that your neighbor is doing well, you'll be forced to do well. Not when you cage people with different value system. And in that cage, each one will be busy planning to destroy the other. Each one will be busy trying to use the other to, you know that he will try to develop himself. He will make sure he presses the other ones down so they don't overtake him. That is what is happening in the zoo today. The people who are asking for power in the zoo today, they are looking for power so that they can be able to oppress the other regions. When you see the Fulanis that are today telling you that they are born to rule, not only saying it, acting as if they own the nation. The reason why they are holding strong on leadership, every time they want to contest, you don't do any contest without them. There is no presidential election that will come without them coming out as a president. They are only pursuing that to make sure that the other regions don't overtake them. It is not because they are taking it to develop their area. Because if they are taking that position to develop the area, the North would have been the most developed part of that very contraption today. But even with them having the highest number of presidents, yet they are the poorest. They are the capital of poverty in the world. Is there? Is there? Is there? They are the poorest. Meanwhile, they have produced the highest number of presidency. I can say they have been the one running the affairs of the nation from beginning up to today. And yet, they have the poorest. Everything there is at the low. Nothing is moving on that area. And what they are doing is to hold that power and press other people that make sure that nobody overtakes them. But assuming they were on their own, they are now going to focus on how to develop their own family to compete with the neighbors, families around them. A very simple example is, if you look at Biafra land, go to families in Biafra land, you will see some healthy competitions in families. When the family, or when you find out that your neighbor have sent their children abroad, you will struggle very fine to send them abroad too, yours abroad, and pray hard that they succeed. Your neighbor will send his own children to university. You will struggle and send your own to university too. A healthy competition. You cannot see your neighbor's children going to university and you keep your own in-house and you're not going to send them to university. You will do the same. You will struggle by all means to catch up with that. And that is the kind of healthy competition you will have when Nigeria is broken into pieces and people go their separate ways. Every region will be on their own, happily. All these big countries today, you're not going to hear it. And that does not stop each of them from trading with each other. They will be trading each other. There are certain things you will still buy from each other. You will still be doing business among yourselves. A healthy business. You can still live anywhere you want to live. All you need to do is to obey the laws. You can still buy property anywhere you want to buy property. All you need to do is to obey the laws. But when they begin to narrate these stories, it will seem as if some of them will be talking as if when you break Nigeria and allow people to go, now you will now break life, forgetting that when you break Nigeria, you are actually saving life of innocent people. You save life. That is what it means. That is the easiest way to save the life of the people in that contraption is by breaking up. When you break it up, you break that interest that they are pursuing. Those who are pursuing land, take over land to themselves, they will stop. They will know they have limitations. They will draw the boundary. They know that we can't cross this area. And every region will begin to protect their border. No region will now open their border and say, oh, everybody from West Africa should come in. It cannot happen. You can't hear that again. But the only reason why you are hearing the news of open the border and let all the people in West Africa come and settle, it is because there is no boundary. There's no boundary. And they feel they can be able to occupy anywhere they want to occupy. But when you draw the boundary, they not know that this is our boundary. We have to protect it and make sure that our generation to come have a place to be. They will protect it with the last drop of their blood. The Southwest will do the same, and the Biafran people will do the same. That is when you have security in the area. And I bet you, no region will allow themselves to be taken over by any terrorist. They will not. But today, what do you see? The terrorists have now become a game. It has become something they used to play game in Nigeria. Sometimes you even see the government themselves employing the terrorists to go to an area and attack. You see the government playing along with a terrorist simply because they feel that let that which is happening in my area happen in your area too. They turn a blind eye to it. Sometimes they go along to sponsor it. There are several reasons why every one of us must sit up and stand up and continue to stand on our ground to make sure that we go home. And as we are going home, always put it at the back of your mind. Your family is not your enemy. Stay away from those people who are telling you that your family is your enemy. Stay away from them. It doesn't matter who they are. If they are native doctors, if they are pastors, if they are imam, whatever they are, and they tell you that your family is your enemy, stay away from such people. They are not doing you any good. They are not doing you any good. The enemy, the Onyilo, is an outsider. The language eater speaks it all. Is an outsider. All you need to do is to close up that door that you have opened for him to penetrate. Because when they come in, of course, they are going to use somebody who is close to you. It can be anybody. Our strength are not equal. Some people are very, very vulnerable. Some cannot stand pressure. Some cannot stand hardship. Some cannot stand propaganda. Some are feeling neglected. Some out of pride. When you see such people, everybody have their weak points. Try to deal with that weak point of your brother. He is not your enemy. If you don't deal with it, the enemy will use that person against you. He will use that very person against you. These are the people they are always watching out for. They are outsiders, but they watch out for the weaklings, watch out for the loopholes, so that they can be able to use it against you and I. And at the end of the day, we make that mistake of fighting against ourselves. And once that war broke up, their duty is done. Once the war broke up, their duty is done. Now they allow you to destroy yourselves. While you get busy destroying yourself, they are busy taking over your land. While you get busy destroying yourself, they are busy taking over the land. Every Biafran must begin to think home. Chukwu Okigabem have done for us what he has to do for us by giving us Mazen Nandekano. Our Supreme Mazen Nandekano came along. He preached earnestly, sincerely to every one of us for us to get the message. He preached selflessly for us to get the message. And I bet you, if you didn't get the message now, you can't get it again. Mazen Nandekano for more than a decade have been shouting and crying. Has been shouting and crying, preaching, doing all of things. And today we still have our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa. Master Simon Ekpa is shouting on different platforms, doing his own best, the way he knows how to do, standing his ground. If you cannot learn your lesson now, when are you going to learn it? Your brother is not your enemy. That is why I love the way Mazen Nande can handle issues when it comes to it. I want you to always take your mind back to that. The way Mazen Nande handles the matter of Biafra. If he has any issue with a Biafran person, he doesn't pay much attention. He talks about it once and he moves on. He ignores it and moves on. And I have never seen Mazen Nande go after anybody, a Biafran, to take their life. Never. Mazen Nande he has that power. He has that connection. He has that loyalty. He has people who are loyal to him that he will tell, take this person out, he will take him out. But Mazen Nande has never offered such kind of order before. He has never. He never used such kind of order against his own people. No. Most times you see Biafrans attacking. They attack him. When it is time for him to reply, he replies and he moves on and pretend that those people doesn't exist. But what do you see today? Today we see people who have declared their own brother as enemy. They go to the extent of taking their life. When you hear some confessions that are happening, I'll be wondering where somebody will take the life of his own brother. You will take the life of your own brother without minding that he's fighting against you. You take the life of your own brother because of an information that an enemy gave you. An enemy, an outsider will give you an information. Only give you an information, then you destroy your brother. And the only will stay there laughing at you. And after you have ended up in destroying all those pillars that is guiding you, when the main war comes, who is going to fight it for you? Who is going to fight it for you? Just like the people who were busy taking out all the ESN commander. They were busy. The Onyilo was using them to take away the ESN commander. And that is how the Onyilo work. It is not them. Some of them don't even know what they're doing. Some of them who participated in that very action today, they are regretting. That is why we say your brother is not the enemy. Just close up the loopholes. Close up the loopholes. Some people who participated in taking the life of their own brothers and sisters today, they are in regret. Even as I'm speaking to you, some of them are confessing. They are regretting it. Because then they were vulnerable. They were vulnerable. And I must tell you, fingers are not equal. Strengths are not the same. Just as I said before, there are people that can stand pressure. Some cannot stand pressure. That people can stand hardship, some cannot stand hardship. There are some people that are very proud. There are some people that want to be relevant by all means. So when you know that such cannot exist, you must have to try to close up the door. Those are your weakness. Deal with that weakness. Once you notice the weakness, make sure you pay attention to it and deal with it. If you don't, it's going to strike back. We must be very, very, very careful. We must be very, very careful so that we don't continue to fight for the enemy. So many people today are fighting for their enemy. They don't know. You are fighting on behalf of your enemy, unknowingly. So many of us, the enemy have staged a battlefield and left us to fight by ourselves for them on their own behalf. And some of us are doing it happily, stupidly. But I pray that Chukwu will give us that wisdom to shut that door through which the enemy enters us. I pray that Chukwu will give us the grace to shut that door, dictate that door and shut it now. Because you don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have, there's no time. There's no time. Chukwu has already given us a mandate to move, and we are moving unstoppable. Whatever declaration we have made in the past continues to stand. As I have said in the beginning of this broadcast, that is only Mazen Nandekano, the supreme leader of IPOB, only him and him alone has the right, has the influence to change things today. And I thank Chukwu that everybody in Biafra land have known this fact. The politicians know this fact. Everybody in that Zoological Republic, they know this fact, that the only man that can change the narrative is Mazen Nandekan. And except Mazen Nandekan comes out, whatever you're saying is a waste of time, waste of energy, waste of resources. Even our spokesperson, Mazen Simon, have thrown it open. If you want it to go your own way, or if you want to have any negotiation, bring Mazen Nandekan out, negotiate with him. Whatever he says is fine now. So why are you not taking that chances? If you mean well, if you sincerely mean well, why are you not taking that chances? You are not taking that chances because you don't mean well. You are still working for the enemy. You are still working for the enemy. I pray that Chukwu Kabiama will guide us and protect us and lead us into that very freedom that we need so dearly in our heart. No man born of a woman can stop us from having our freedom. It is going to come. We are going to be free, whether they like it or not, whether they agree or not. We are going to be free. We're going to be free because we are fighting for a just cause. Since they said they were not wanted in the Zoological Republic, what are we going to do? We can't hate ourselves. We have to love ourselves more to forge ahead and move into our own nation, Biafra. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or you don't believe it. It is going to come. The only good thing you can do for yourself today is to key in and open your ears to instructions. Listen to instructions. My final advice: no matter what you see, no matter what you hear, do not get distracted. You know, each time I make a broadcast, I always say that more distraction is going to come, more attacks is going to come, more propaganda is going to come. You haven't seen anything yet. More is going to come. But no matter what you see, don't get distracted. The distraction can come from your closest ally. It can come from your best friend. It can come from your parents, your brother, your immediate, your blood brother. It can come from your benefactor, from the person you trust most. But as long as you have made the choice for freedom, remain consistent. At the end, you have a reason to glorify Chukwu Kabiam for keeping you up to 2023. We have waited for this time for a very long time. Mazen Nandekan announced this very time for us. That was why they took him away from us, so that he doesn't lead us into that victory. But finally today, here are we. As long as we are still standing today, victory is sure. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this broadcast from the beginning to the end. Thank you so much for joining. Please share the broadcast to your own platform. Share to family and friends. Share and reach out. Everybody can reach out to. As I have always said, any day I stop speaking for the freedom of Biafra people, I will stop talking about it finally. And I will not speak about anything. I cannot support anything apart from the freedom of Biafra people. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that concerns me except the freedom of Biafran people. That is the only place I am focused. When I stop talking about the freedom of Biafran people, that is it. I'm off. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect every Biafran all over the world, every Ududua person, every Middle person, anybody that is genuinely seeking for freedom. It doesn't matter your tribe, your religion, your race, wherever you locate. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect you and secure you. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect all our media warriors, or every one of them. Every one of them, no matter the attack, no matter the challenge, no matter the obstacles we are facing today, we are still standing strong and standing firm. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect our Umuada, secure them, guide them and prosper them. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa. The battle is getting tougher. We must have to continue to pray for Master Simon Ekpa. The challenges are getting tougher. The enemy is devising different kinds of means. The Onyilo, they are still looking for a loopholes to use. We must continue to pray for Master Simon Ekpa. That Chukwu Okike Abiyama should open his eyes to shut those doors. And we on our own, when you see any door that the Onyilo will follow to come into your house, shut it before it is too late. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to guide and protect every one of us. We must overcome. No matter what the enemy does, we must overcome. And very, very soon, may Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect our spokesperson, Master Simon Ekpa. No weapon formed or fashioned against him shall prosper. No missile thrown against him shall have power. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect our supreme leader, Master Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is. Guide him, protect him, secure him, keep him safe for us. Very soon, he's going to join us. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, we shall overcome. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for being with me for this time. I appreciate you and see you again tomorrow by the special guest of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Bye-bye.